With everlasting creations, the success of French fashion designer Pierre Cardin has made him one of the living legends in the fashion industry. Born in Italy in the 1920s, Cardin moved to Paris in the 1940s, where he studied architecture. He gained work with Christian Dior before establishing his own fashion house in 1950 to release haute couture in 1953. By the late 50s, he was the first couturier to make Japan a high fashion market. He was also the first to present a ready-to-wear collection in 1959, revolutionizing the way fashion was manufactured and purchased. In 1966, he opened his own boutique for men in London's famous Central Street, the Strand. With most of the Cardin styles being manufactured in Britain, his designs generally suited the more conservative tastes of British men, with Edwardian looks of long jackets pulled in at the waist, slim-cut flared trousers and long coats. Early on in his career, he grabbed headlines and became known for his original styles and space-age or futuristic looks that heralded a new freedom of movement for women. And being a designer that's revolutionary, he was called upon to design the costumes for A Dandy in Aspic, a film that called for fashion ahead of its time and starring a young Mia Farrow, who visited the house of Pierre Cardin for a final fitting of the clothes chosen for the film. After many years of introducing new looks and styles, opening more boutiques around the world, and creating the E-Space Cardin, a complex in Paris that exhibits work of young creative people, Cardin in 1991 staged a dazzling fashion show in Moscow's Red Square. Wanting to establish a strong position, he gave Muscovites a rare opportunity to admire his latest fashion collection, as well as a retrospective show of garments dating back to the early 1950s, presenting 400 garments. With a display of different materials, shapes and colors, he was one of a number of Western designers trying to break into the potentially lucrative Soviet market. An exhibition celebrating Cardin's 50 years in the fashion industry opened in Paris at the E-Space Pierre Cardin warehouse to show to the public the whole aspect of his creativity. It featured his designs, which included bright-colored garments on mannequins, plus accessories and shoes. "1997 saw a collection by Sergio Altieri, who has worked with Cardin for many years. The collection for the 1998 Spring-Summer ready-to-wear featured feminine ruffles in pastel and primary colors and long, fluid and classic designs. Being Altieri's fourth collection for the Cardin Pret-a-Porter line, floor-length gowns were adorned with exaggerated ruffles, and his show peaked with a white floor-length bridal gown decorated with rosebud ruffles on the sleeves. The fashion house presented a streamlined collection in 1998 with jackets and geometric neckwear for the men. Plastic was strongly in evidence, especially for jackets and trousers, and it was generally agreed that Cardin's designer Altieri had managed to maintain the Cardin tradition of an architectural structure in his menswear while adding modern touches with glistening fabrics and bright colors. Almost 10 years later and 6 decades into his career, Cardin gave away the traditional model-runway combination of showing his designs, opting for a showroom and still models for his 2006-2007 ready-to-wear collection. The showroom presentation was also the first men's ready-to-wear presentation in 10 years. Believing people get distracted by the beauty of models now, he wanted viewers to remember the clothes, which contained cutouts, circle-cut sleeves and snap fasteners made for a geometric silhouette with a retro feel. Pierre Cardin is now a roving ambassador for French style and is a man who has built an empire which has become famous worldwide. His fashions are experimental and with different shapes and motifs, and although some may not be realistic and functional in everyday life, they are, however, timeless.